Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here at the New York State Firearms Association. With the budget supposedly about to be wrapped up, and we all know what that means, right? Wrapping up the budget basically means Hochul is going to steal more of our money to give it to every leftist, lunatic, gun control think tank here in New York State to crank out white papers attacking our gun rights. With that process about done, Hochul and her allies are about to turn to social issues like gun control, and it could happen very quick. We're told the number one threat we're facing right now here in Albany is a 10-day waiting period on all gun sales. If you're pressed for time, whatever else you do, please hit that link below. Sign your petition. Make sure your senator and assemblyman know you are 100% hell no opposed to any attempt to make us, not criminals, to make good guys wait 10 days to buy a firearm here in New York State. Remember, this bill passed the Senate last session, but it died in the Assembly. So it's a really hot threat. And it's going to pop up very, very quickly. This year's bill numbers on the Senate side, it's Senate Bill 00362. It's filed by Senator Mike Ganarius. He is perhaps the most crazed gun grabber we have this session in Albany. He has 7 co-sponsors, and the bill is in the Codes Committee. The Assembly companion bill is A03233. It also is in the Codes Committee. It's got 5 co-sponsors. But don't forget, these bills all the time, they go from zero action to going 100 miles an hour just like that here in Albany. Sometimes both chambers vote in a gun control bill on the exact same day. So don't be lulled into inaction by seeing 4 co-sponsors. The bill could have 50 co-sponsors by tomorrow. That's how things work here in Albany. What the bill does is actually pretty simple. It forces dealers to wait 10 days from the time they run your name through the NICS check system until they give you the firearm. So it doesn't matter if you're approved instantaneously. This bill requires dealers to wait 10 days to release the firearms to us that we have purchased. Now, of course, like every good gun control bill in Albany, there's carve-outs for the government. So this law does not apply to the police, does not apply to federal authorities, does not apply to movie production studios, presumably in New York City. But you know who there's no carve out for? There's no carve out for the poor single mom who lives alone and has a stalker who wants to sexually assault and kill her. No exceptions for her. No exceptions for the shopkeeper who wants to buy a Glock 19 to defend his employees because fellow shops nearby have been attacked by armed robbery crews. No carve-outs, no exceptions for a homeowner who sees home invasions getting closer and closer and closer to his or her subdivision. No carve-outs, in other words, for we the people. It only protects the government, which, of course, is how any good gun control law written by commies here in Albany is designed to do. Of course, a violation of this, it's a Class A misdemeanor, and so a violation of this is a freaking year in prison. I mean, there's a whole lot of violent criminals that get less than a year in prison for that kind of for much more serious violations than this would be. But yeah, that's their goal. You and I in prison for a year for not waiting 10 days to buy a firearm. You know, think about this in real life. You've got a daughter. She's 22. She just moved out of your home. You live in Rochester. She moved to an apartment in Victor. Let's just say it's her first time being on her own, and she has some crazy foreign national that ICE has not picked up yet and deported out of our country, who basically can't be held in prison because all of our bail reform debacles and crap like that. And he's being very clear with her as she walks from her car to the front door of her apartment what he wants to do to her. And she has called the cops, and the cops say, well, we can't really touch him right now. And she's scared. So she calls you and she says, what do I do? And you do what any good dad would do. You give her one of your handguns and say, honey, keep this next to your bedside stand. If somebody ever breaks into your apartment in the middle of the night, you defend yourself no matter what. Now, of course, I guess that's already a criminal action because there's no background check in that process. But under this bill, you and your daughter, me and my daughter, would all be criminals because there was not a 10-day waiting period between your daughter getting her firearm and a NICS check. That is the level of insanity, of contempt that these lawmakers hold you and I in. They would sooner put us in prison for a violation of this. They would sooner our daughters pay the price for this law than to realize the fact that they are commies who should be apologizing up one side and down the next for trying to attack our gun rights. Everything about this, besides being dangerous, is blatantly unconstitutional, and everyone here in Albany knows it. There is nothing in the Bruen decision, in the historical analog requirement that was handed down in the Bruen decision. There's nothing in our nation's history that says waiting 10 days was part of that tradition. Everything about this is unconstitutional. It's illegal. They know we're going to probably sue over this if it becomes law, but they know it takes a couple years to get your day in court. And they know even then you get kind of a partial victory. And so these people simply don't care. They hate law-abiding citizens, and their goal is to do a criminal-first policy on every issue, including, of course, gun control here in New York State. So, guys, get loud, take action right away, hit that link, make your voice heard. We killed this bill last year. Perhaps we can kill it again. I believe we can kill it again, but we got to get loud and flood Albany with calls, emails, and petitions opposing this bill. Guys, it can happen very fast. Hit the link, take action, and we'll keep you guys informed. Take care.